I wonder if Mr. Johnson's got anything new to read. Hey, look at this. This is one of my favorites. This is the story of a man who lived for the day when he could open his own barbershop. It's called Uncle Jed's Barbershop.
Uncle Jed's Barbershop by Marguerite King Mitchell. Illustrated by James Ransom. Read by Regina Taylor. Jedediah Johnson was my granddaddy's brother. He used to come by our house every Wednesday night with his clippers. He was the only black barber in the county. Daddy said that before Uncle Jed started cutting hair, he and Granddaddy used to have to go 30 miles to get a haircut. After Uncle Jed cut my daddy's hair, he lathered a short brush with soap, spread it over my daddy's face, and shaved him. Mama wouldn't let him cut my hair, so he would run the clippers on the back of my neck and just pretend. He even spread lotion on my neck. I would smell wonderful all day. When he was done, he would tell me about the barber shop he was going to open one day and about all the fancy equipment that would be in it. The sinks would be so shiny they sparkled. The floors so clean you could see yourself. He was going to have 4 barber chairs, and outside was going to be a big red and white barber pole. He told me he was saving up for it. He had been saying the same thing for years. Nobody believed him. People didn't have dreams like that in those days. We lived in the South, and most people were poor. Then, when I was 5 years old, I got sick. Mama and Daddy couldn't wake me up. They wrapped me in a blanket and took me to the hospital. We had to go to the colored waiting room. In those days, they kept black people and white people separate. It was called segregation. When the doctors did examine me, they told my daddy that I needed an operation and that it would cost $300. $300? My daddy didn't have that kind of money. Daddy went to find Uncle Jed and told him about me. Uncle Jed leaned on his bent cane and stared straight ahead. He told Daddy that the money didn't matter. He couldn't let anything happen to his Sara Jean. Well, I had the operation. For a long time after that, Uncle Jed came by the house every day to see how I was doing. I know that $300 delayed him from opening his barbershop. Then, a few years after my operation, Uncle Jed came close to opening his shop again. One night, we had just finished supper when there was a knock on the door. It was Uncle Jed's friend with news that the bank where his money was had failed. Uncle Jed had over $3,000 in the bank, and now it was gone. Uncle Jed just sat there a long time before he said anything. Then he said that even though he was disappointed, he would just have to start all over again. Talk about some hard times. That was the beginning of the Great Depression. Nobody had much money. But Uncle Jed kept going around to his customers cutting their hair, even though they couldn't pay him. His customers shared with him whatever they had: a hot meal, fresh eggs, vegetables from the garden. And when they were able to pay again, they did. And Uncle Jed started saving all over again. Oh, Uncle Jed finally got his barbershop. He opened it up on his 79th birthday. It had everything, just like he said it would. Big, comfortable chairs, 4 cutting stations, you name it. The floors were so clean, they sparkled. On opening day, people came from all over the county. They were all Uncle Jed's customers. He had walked to see them for so many years. That day, they all came to him. Of course, I was there too. I wouldn't have missed it for the world. When I sat in one of the big barber chairs, Uncle Jed patted the back of my neck with lotion like he always did. Then he twirled me round and round in the barber chair. Uncle Jed died not long after that, and I think he died a happy man. You see, he made his dream come true even when nobody else believed in it. He taught me to dream